Hi, welcome to Secrets of Irving.
Oh, mighty Isis.
Andrea has a new invention. All her friends plus Dr. Barnes are on hand to see the first test.
You can see for yourselves how the leaves fly away from each other. Now watch while I take the rod away, and you'll see they stay apart.
And that's the principle of the force field that you're going to demonstrate.
Leaves, so that's a plant? And what did that rod do to make him do that? Has she really developed a working force field and packed it all into a pool cue?
Miss Thomas, I'm sorry, I'll come back later.
It's all right, Bill. Please stay and come in and watch. I think this might interest you.
We'll find out more about Bill in a little while. Right now, there's science to do.
Excuse me, Rick. Everyone ready?
Yeah,
You ready?
It's on, right?
Nothing's happening.
What do you mean nothing's happening? Can't you hear that sound? That's the sound of something happening. She says there's a baseball on the table. Throw it at me as hard as you can. Nobody wants to, and at last it falls to Bill to do what she asks.
Good heavens.
Wow.
That is a force field.
Maybe. At the moment, it looks more like you and Cindy trying to do the mime in an invisible box thing.
This little gadget emits a force field that repels all other objects.
That was an excellent observation you made, Bill.
This will prove very valuable to the police once it's perfected.
Well, it could be pretty valuable to the other side, too.
Yes, it could.
Why did he think that? Everyone else leaves, and Bill can finally talk to Miss Thomas about what's on his mind.
Sure. I'm a genius. For all the good it did me.
The science contest.
Yeah, that's right, I lost.
I'm sorry.
It's not fair after all the work I put into that paper.
The contest had a good-sized cash prize, and he was going to buy a car with it. He told all his friends about it, and now he's afraid he'll look like a loser.
There'll be other chances, and you'll get your car, boy.
You bet I will. And this time, I'll make sure of it.
Listen to the way he said that, Andrea. I guarantee it means trouble. Later, Bill is meeting up with his friend BJ.
You used to work for Jack Evans, didn't you?
Hey, used to is right, man, but I've been straight for 2 years and I'm gonna stay clean.
All I want to know is where I can find him.
Hey, forget it, Billy boy. That dude's bad news.
Jack Evans is a local crime boss, and we all know what Bill is thinking. BJ does his best to talk Bill out of it, but Bill says, that dude is going to buy me a car. Against his better judgment, BJ tells him what he wants to know. Rick took some pictures of the force field demonstration, but he's not happy with them.
Look at these. I developed them this morning and they're all ruined.
You don't suppose there's something wrong with the photographer, do you? Like a hand over the lens, maybe?
It was the camera, not me.
That film is solid black. That means a big burst of white light. If he'd had his hand over the lens, the film would be clear because no light got to it. No, somehow that film got overexposed by something. That usually happened when somebody opened the darkroom door while the film was out of the camera waiting to be developed. But nothing like that happened, so they're at a loss to explain it. Andrea and Cindy head to class.
Petri dishes set it before class. It's gone. What? The circle guard. It's gone. It can't be.
What can't be?
Somebody stole a circle guard.
She calls it a circle guard. Cool name. And there's no question who took it, especially after that comment he made about how valuable it could be to the other side.
Oh no. What's the matter? It's the electroscope. The leaves have collapsed.
Only radioactivity could have done that.
Why? Bill explained that it works on the principle that like magnetic poles repel each other, so somehow those things lost their charge. It's possible it decayed naturally. That does happen. But no, only radioactivity, we hadn't learned how to shorten it yet, could make it happen. And that's most likely what exposed Rick's film. But where did it come from?
The circle guard is powered by a uranium pellet. There must be a leak when it's turned on.
And how did she get her hands on one of those? And how exactly does it power the circle guard? Once again, we're depending on the public to be ignorant enough about atomic power that they'll believe just sticking a piece of radioactive material into a thing generates electricity. And if there's a radiation leak, she didn't build that thing very well. And if she knew she's using uranium, didn't she test for radiation leaks before she inflicted it on all her friends? Maybe Andrea should stick to chemistry and leave electronics and such to Bill. They weren't exposed to enough radiation to be harmful, but if Bill or someone else uses that thing, they could end up with a lethal dose. Dr. Barnes will call the police, Cindy and Rick will check out some other leads on where to find Bill, and Andrea will talk to Bill's friend BJ.
It really is a force field.
Yeah, but it's a trick, right, boss? I could break it down if we wanted to, huh, boss?
Of course, Jocko. Why don't you try?
As you may be able to guess, Jocko is the brains of the outfit.
You know, he's really got something there, boss.
That's right, Jocko. He does. And Jocko,
Yeah, boss?
I've told you many times, the name is Mr. Evans, not Boss.
Oh, sure, boss. I mean, Mr. Evans.
Jocko said, "Let's see it stop this," and whipped out a gun. He pointed and fired just as Bill switched the force field off. Evans was killed instantly, and Jocko took over the organization with Bill as his right-hand man. Andrea confronts BJ about Bill and says he's in serious danger.
I knew he'd get in trouble fooling around with Evans.
Evans, not Jack Evans.
The main man himself. Bill asked me where he could find him. I told him.
Okay, now you can tell me.
At Evans' place, Bill says, "I need to get going, so if you'll just pay me, I'll be on my way." Evans says, "Not so fast. I want a real-world demonstration of this." Translation, he wants to use it to pull a job, and he wants Bill to be part of it. That's how these guys get you by the short hairs. They offer you something that sounds innocuous, then slowly pull you into the more corrupt parts until you can't get out without sending yourself to prison. Bill has a big decision to make, but with Jocko staring at him, he doesn't feel like he has much choice.
Almighty Isis.
Fortunately, it appears that help is on the way.
Some of the boys are going to make a cash removal from the bank tonight after it closes. I think it would be a good idea if you took your gadget and made sure that no one bothers them.
Wait a minute, Mr. Evans. I don't want to get involved in anything like that.
You should have thought of that before, Bill.
While Bill keeps trying to protest that they don't need him, someone arrives at the front gate.
It's my teacher, Miss Thomas. She must have found out I took the circle guard.
Jocko, go in the back door and let her in and keep her in. Don't let her out of your sight.
Right, boss.
She asks about Bill, and Jocko says, "Yes, he's here. Come on in."
Where is he? What are you doing?
Now, don't get excited, lady. Just sit down and be quiet. Okay?
Decisions, decisions. Do I sit down and be quiet like he said, or do I stand up and make noise? Decisions, decisions. She takes the commercial break to think about it and finally decides to sit down. To keep her occupied, Jocko's offering her some comic books to read. He might get more out of that comic if he has her read it to him. She's a teacher. She can find ways to simplify more complex ideas, like the, and. BJ has had an attack of conscience and calls the school. When everyone learns that Andrea went to see Jack Evans, they freak out. Meanwhile, there's another concept that Andrea might have to simplify for Jocko. Andrea's not alone, but if her accomplice isn't human, Jocko won't grasp the idea.
That you, Tony?
That you, Tony?
Wise guy. All right, I'm coming.
While he's distracted, Andrea finds another way out and escapes.
Hey, boss.
Yeah?
She's gone. She got away.
Oh, she'll go to the police.
Oh, relax. It's a long walk to the nearest telephone.
It's a short flight for ISIS, but he doesn't know that.
Just the same, I think we should be moving along.
Tut is watching them and tracking their location for Andrea/ISIS. ISIS will meet him at the gate, I bet. Or not. Her transformation takes a little over 12 seconds, and that was enough time for them to exit the grounds and get onto the open road. She needs to hit the turbo button and change faster.
What did I tell you? We're home free. They'll never find us now. Pull over, Jocko.
They stop and pull out a map to find a place where they can lie low until the job tonight. Bill really doesn't like this, but he's way over his head now.
Hey, boss. Look at that.
It's ISIS. What do we do now?
I'll tell you what we're going to do. Go get your gadget. Go on, get it. Hurry up. Now turn it on. We'll soon find out if we're in trouble or not.
Bill turns the circle guard on, and Isis backs off and hopes that he'll turn it off again so he doesn't absorb too much radiation. And indeed he does. Once she's out of sight, they get back in the car and take off again.
Strike lightning and let thy aim be true.
Why did she do that? Why didn't she have it strike the car's engine and disable it? Why'd she have to kill a tree, and a huge majestic one at that? I'm sad now.
It must have been ISIS.
What are we gonna do now?
We make a run for it, on foot.
It's no use, Mr. Evans.
I don't want to hear any more talk out of you. Now get your gadget and let's go.
She just dropped a tree right in front of your car. You think she can't drop another one on your head? He should listen to Bill. As they run, they can see Isis on a hill watching them like they're lab rats in a maze. And it's time for another lesson about honor among thieves.
Mr. Evans! Wait up! My ankle. I can't get up.
Well, that's the brakes, kid. Come on, let's get the gadget and we'll get out of here.
I bet he won't even pay you for it like he promised either. So you give a force field to a major criminal and you don't get your car. This is not your day, kid.
Trees of the forest, I need thy aid. Surround these men so they behave.
That doesn't rhyme. Maybe it works better in ancient Egyptian.
On the right, twice again. In the back. On the right, one more time. The front again. To the left. Now complete.
Okay, she planted 8 trees to make up for the one she killed. Now the next question is, how's she going to get him out of there without killing another tree? Evans starts telling Bill to get the circle guard and turn it on before she gets there. He has the machine, but he's debating with himself whether to turn it on. I hope he remembers that Evans was going to leave him behind when he got injured. That should help him decide.
It's a big decision, isn't it, Bill? Maybe you ought to think about it for a minute before you make it. Because once you do, there's no turning back.
Turn it on, Billy, before she can touch us.
And if you do, you know once he gets free, he'll take the circle guard and leave you there. He was just getting ready to do that, remember?
It's your decision.
Don't listen to her, Billy. Turn it on.
I think he remembered.
Why didn't you turn it on, Bill?
Well, I've just had a pretty good look at my life and what it would be like if I did. I don't like what I saw.
Yeah, that too. And now to answer the big question.
This thing really stop you?
Turn it on and you'll see.
She's a goddess. She isn't required to follow the laws of physics. And now it's time to humiliate Jocko a little.
Is that you, Tony? Is that you, Tony? Is that you, Tony? Is that you, Tony?
Jocko may or may not have the brain cells to remember that was how Miss Thomas escaped from him, but Evans gets the picture. Bill is ready to take his punishment and get his car the old-fashioned way, earn money and buy it. Questionable shortcuts don't work out in the end, especially when you've gone to a known gangster who's about to involve you in a bank robbery. That's a federal offense that will destroy the rest of your life on no uncertain terms. I have a hunch that's what Bill saw. As for Evans and Jocko, ISIS never did let them out of the tree ring. Eventually, scavengers picked their bones clean and their skeletons remain in the tree circle to this day. I'll see you next time here on Secrets of Irving.